Hi guys, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today we are going to talk about the update for Pando's eyeshadows, but first I just want to rejoice a little bit because I feel so much better than I have in a long time. So I am pregnant and I start my 21st week now. So I'm over halfway and I finally feel like I'm maybe getting back to myself a little bit. Like, I haven't been creative in such a long time, and lately I have actually sat down and crafted two cards. Very simple, kind of the same layout and stuff, but these are the two cards that I made a few days back, and I'm just really happy for that. I also sat down to draw a bit, or to color in a digistamp. So this is how it turned out. Very, very happy. I used Spectrum Noir pens, and it's or Spectrum Noir markers, alcohol-based markers. And it's been such a long time since I colored. It might have been years, like literal years, since I colored in anything. So I am over the moon that I am beginning to be a little bit creative again, and so that's something that I definitely want to celebrate a bit. But you're here for the update for Pando's eyeshadows. So I am working on 7 eyeshadows at a time. 3 of them are totally randomized. 2 of the shades come from palettes that I've randomized, but I could choose the shade from. Then we have 1 palette without a pan in it. So I try to keep up pan in every palette, and so I randomized the palette from like 9 or 10 palettes that don't yet have pan in them, and then I choose the shade. And then the last shade comes from a focus palette where I want to hit all of the pans eventually, and so I pick a shade, and then if I hit pan I move over to the next shade. And today is going to be a little bit interesting. I don't have the best of updates, although I don't only have 1, but I actually have 2 bonus pans for you. So I have been hitting pans, but not the pans that I was supposed to hit, let's say. But let's take it from the top with the 3 randomized shades. The first comes from my Too Faced palette Natural Matte, and I chose the shade Nudie, which is this brown shade right here. I've used this 6 times, and it actually worked pretty well as a bronzer. So I'm happy for that, because that makes it a lot easier to use, and I could use a fair amount of it actually when I used it as a bronzer. So I think it will go quicker if I can use it that way, but I have a lot of bronzer shades to work on, so we'll see how that goes. But 6 uses is not bad at all. I can even see a little bit of a dip forming. I don't know if you can see that. Sometimes you see more in the camera, sometimes you see less. Maybe if you look in the mirror here, I don't know if you can see that, but I can definitely see a little bit of a dip forming, which is great. These shades are really, really hard pressed, so it's hard to hit pan. The next shade comes from my Christmas Eve palette from Odin's Eye. I chose the shade Lemon Tart, or it was randomized because I would not have picked this one. It's the yellow down here. I've only used it once, but I'm very happy that I have used it. It didn't look good on me. I don't like yellows like normally. Oh, I should go with a sunset look. Then I can actually use a yellow like that. I should do that someday. But anyway, my goal is to use all of these shades at least once in the month to get some progress, but some shades are just going to take a longer time to hit pan on because I can't wear yellows all day long. Like, it doesn't look good on me mostly. So I'm not going to do it. I can try to be creative with yellow, but it doesn't always work out, you know. So only 1 use, but a use nonetheless. Then we have, with the first bonus pan, the Bang Beauty palette. I randomized the shade number 6, and I have used that one 3 times, and that one is right here. You can't see that much of a difference, I think, if at all. You can see some brush strokes, but I have hit pan in the white one right here, and I think I've used it 10 times now, or 9. 9 or 10 times. It's super nice to have a white matte. I love white mattes. They should be in every palette in my opinion. And so, yeah, I have a long way left to go on this one. 3 uses. It barely looks touched. But 3 uses is something, right? And then we have this week's pan, and it comes from my Vintage Glam palette from Gloss Gods. I love this shade that I've been working on. I only had to use it 4 times to hit pan on it. Look at that. Oh, this shade is so gorgeous. So I've hit pan, and that means that I will actually randomize a new palette and choose a new shade to work on. But we'll do that after we have gone through all of these shades. The next palette I could also choose a shade from, and that comes from my Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. I chose the shade Sheen because I thought it would go well together with some other shades that I have in here, and it did. I've actually found a look that I can use on a day-to-day basis with several of these shades, so I should really go with that look more. But I'm also trying to use the rest of my collection, so it's not always that easy. But anyway, from this one, I chose this shimmer. It goes well together with the Bang Beauty palette, the brown in here, and some other shades that I will be showing you soon. So that one I have used 3 times. Maybe you can see a little bit of a dip showing there, but not that much. It's going to take some time to use, I think. Next up, we have the palette without any pans showing in it, and it's the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glam to Go palette. So I chose the very first shade to work on, called Pretty. I've used it twice, but you can actually see a dip forming already. So these are very soft, very kind of buttery, but it's not my type of shimmer. Although it goes very well together with that shade from the Natasha Denona palette, the shade Sheen. So if I actually focus in more on neutral looks this upcoming month, which should kind of be like a dream come true because it's easy, but I do like experimenting, and I'm in a phase where I want to experiment. So having a bunch of nudes, I don't know. Also, I have so many nudes to work on, so I can't use them all in one shade or in one look. We'll see. We'll see what I can do until the next update. But anyway, let's move on to the very last palette for today, which is the Charlotte Tilbury Exaggerize palette. Talking about neutrals, this is what I'm wearing today. And I was trying to hit pan in the very first shade here as well. But I ended up hitting pan in the second shade instead. So I have hit pan here. I have the biggest dip there, so I really should have pan until the next update. It's a great inner corner shade. And so yeah, I'm going to continue to work on it. I've used this one 4 times. I really should have used it more. It's not that hard to use, you know. But anyway, I think by the next update we will have another pan in here, and then we only have 1 shade left to pan on. And hopefully we can do that this year. And that was it for the shades that I have been working on. But since the Vintage Glam palette is rolling out, we're going to randomize a new palette, and I'm going to pick the shade. So I'm going to work on the ZZ Cobra palette, which is this one. Okay, so it's a gorgeous palette. It's heavy. It feels really nice. I love this for autumn. And these are the shades. It's not really what I want to work on right now. I already have crease shades, so maybe I shouldn't focus in on the white, even if that would be the easiest. This one is too much like something that I'm trying to finish, actually. So what can I hit pan on? I think this is just a glitter. It's also silver, and I'm trying to finish a silver in my palette, so maybe not that one. I don't want to work on that gold. I just don't want to. Let's see how this one actually looks like. It's kind of a mix with a lot of different shades. Can you see that? And it has the tiniest dip. Okay, let's see how this swatches. Okay, so this is just a shimmer. Like, it's a topper shade, very sparkly. So maybe I can have this on top of anything, because I am pretty close to hitting pan on the other topper shade that I'm working on. So maybe I should go with that one. I think it would go with kind of anything. So yeah, I'm choosing the very last shade in this palette to try to hit pan on for this project. And those were all of the shades. Maybe I should swatch everything for you again so that you can see what we are going to work on. Okay, so these are the shades that I'm going to be working on. This is the color story I have now, and I'm switching this one out for this one. So right now I have an even more neutral palette to work with than before, because at least I had a purple, but now we only have like yellow to orange to brown shades. So it's very neutral. It should be easy in theory to work with, but we'll see. We'll see what I can accomplish until the next update. With that being said, I really hope you enjoy this video, this update, and that I'll see you in the next one. Have a great evening. Bye.